Hello and welcome to Wise Mothers. My name is Sally Thibault. Well, we had a great week this week as we launched a brand new ebook, Wise Mothers, A Parable, Raising Children in the Social Media Era. And in this video, I wanted to give you just a little bit of a background to the book and why it's very different actually from my first book, David's Gift. About 2 years ago, after a very emotional argument with my then 16-year-old daughter who wanted to go to a party where there were no parents, I realised something had changed dramatically. She's my youngest. I have 2 older children, and there's a 6-year gap between my middle daughter and my youngest daughter. And I had this sneaking suspicion that it really was something to do with social media and the change that's happening to our children because of technology. So I began researching. This was an 18-month research project, and what I discovered was quite extraordinary. And I want to share some of those things with you. Number one, do you know our teenagers now have access to somewhere over 40,000 media messages per year? 40,000 media messages per year coming from all sorts of angles. Number two, do you know that new research about the brain is coming up with some incredibly interesting data? And the one thing I think that's probably more important is that as a child's brain develops, it actually molds and adjusts to its surrounding, which means the amount of input from outside has a great effect on a child's brain. A second thing about that is that the frontal lobe of the brain, which is the part that takes care of good judgment and wisdom and right and wrong really, isn't properly formed until a person is in their mid-20s. Lastly, at a time when our children are really struggling for more independence and we want to hand it to them, is a time when us as parents are often out of the house, double income working families, single families. So at that time when children want more independence but need more boundaries, parents are often giving them way too much independence than they can possibly cope with. Hence came Wise Mothers. Now, I actually began writing this book about all the data that I discovered. And then one morning, when it all kind of just popped into place, it was like this big aha moment, and I realised what I discovered. I decided to go for a walk. When I came back from that walk, I started to write a story. Now, it's one of those things where I'm not quite sure where this story came from. But when I'd finished writing the story, I realised that it was the power of that story that really was all about understanding wisdom and how important wisdom is in raising children, especially in this social media era. So I invite you to pop in and have a look at Wise Mothers Raising Children in the Social Media Era and read the parable. It's only $5.99. You can download it straight to your Kindle or onto your computer. It's a really quick little read. But you know, the things about that book I started to put into practice very quickly and almost immediately saw a dramatic difference in the relationship I had with my daughter. It was quite astounding. I invite you to have a look at the book. The link's below, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye for now.